Ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. Today we've got this big, interesting package here. It's just some cardboard taped together, but it's not the outside that counts, it's what's inside. And this is supposed to be an iPad mini first gen running iOS 6. Let's get it opened up, see if that's the case, and hopefully get rid of this cardboard because this is taking up a lot of space. All right, here is our iPad. Looks to be in nice condition, but it's a little dirty. Let me get this cleaned up, and then we can see it. See it. I'm sorry. Why do I drop? I drop like 50% of the devices I unbox. Maybe because I'm being too careful with them, they slip out of my hand. Okay, let me get this cleaned up. All right, here is our iPad. It looks to be in stunning condition. The display looks flawless. I'm not seeing even the slightest scratch on the surface here. This looks like dust. Just got a little dust specks, and that's it. On the back, camera looks nice. Volume buttons look nice. This thing looks like it's never been used. Maybe something there on the Apple logo? Nope, that's also perfect. Wow, this is quite the device. Let's see if it has any power. And it does, look at that. Such a relief to see the iOS 6 Apple logo. I know I unbox a bunch of devices, but I'm always a little nervous that people are going to update their iPads, iPhones, and iPods. So let's let this boot up and we'll see what we got. Okay, that was quick. Literally like 10 seconds. Slide to unlock. Yes, sir, I will do that. Let's turn up the brightness so you guys can see what we're looking at here. Okay, while we're inside settings, we might as well head into general and about. 6.1.3, this is a 16 gigabyte model. Very nice. Of course, there's no iCloud lock. I was not expecting that. Here we go, iOS 6. This is a beautiful iPad. I honestly think this was never used. Somebody bought this, opened it, and that was the end of the story. Never used it. Matter of fact, I'm going to plug it into my computer and we're going to see how many battery cycles it has. Bummer, it didn't show me cycles on a coconut battery. I'm not sure if that's an iPad mini problem or an iOS 6 problem. I don't know. But this is a beautiful device. This was actually the first iPad I ever owned. In 2012, I got an iPad mini just like this. It was a white 16 gig model, Wi-Fi only. Got that for Christmas and used that up until the release of the iPad Air. And this model holds a special place in my heart. I still have my first gen mini, but it's on iOS 7, which I've actually seen more on iOS 6 than iOS 7, so I guess that's worth something. But this is the first small iPad. You can see how easily it fits in my hand. And yeah, you very easily can use this with one hand. You can hold it. Can't really reach much of the screen, maybe just half of it there with your thumb. But it's a really good size. And this launched in 2012 alongside the iPad 4th gen. However, this did not get the same updates as the 4th gen. So while the iPad 4th gen got a Retina display, this iPad did not. This shares the same resolution as the iPad 2nd gen and 1st gen for that matter, but the pixel density is higher because the display is shrunk down. This retains the same 5 megapixel lens found on the iPad 3rd gen, although there may be some slight differences because it seems to take better quality photos. This iPad also got Siri, so the iPad 2nd gen, although it has the same hardware, did not get Siri. And let's see if it's still working. What was the score of the Super Bowl?
The 49ers lost in overtime to the Chiefs in Super Bowl LVII last Sunday. The final score was 25-22.
Okay, so Siri's still working on iOS 6, although the App Store is not. But I kind of skipped past the comparison here. The iPad mini was launched alongside the 4th gen, but did not get the upgraded processor. So this still has a dual-core A5 clocked at 1 gigahertz and 512 megabytes of RAM, while the iPad 4th gen got the A6X chip, which is significantly faster in CPU and GPU performance, and it also got a full gigabyte of RAM, which was carried over from the iPad 3rd gen. This was the cheapest iPad ever. It started at $329, and for that reason, it was actually cheaper than the iPad 2, which was still on sale in 2012. That was $399. And for that reason, this was a very popular device. The Mini 1st gen sold really well. A lot of people bought one because it had a design that was ahead of its time. This would not be introduced in the full-size iPad until 2013 with the iPad Air. So we got the thin bezels, and of course we got Lightning. We've got the stereo speakers. This was the first iPad to feature speakers on both sides here. Even the 4th gen did not have that. We did still get the mute lock switch or the rotation lock switch, depending on your settings. That was removed in the iPad Air 2 in 2014. But the 1st gen Mini is a great device, and it was actually sold in 3 colors, believe it or not. Silver, such as this. Slate black, which was the same slate as the iPhone 5. It was pretty similar in color here to this, if you haven't seen one of those. But then later on, this was also re-released with space gray. So as far as I know, this is the only Apple device to have space gray as well as black/slate. So super cool little tidbit there. I'm actually seeing a little bit of damage up here, right on that corner, right above my nail there. Looks like this thing took a little tiny bit of a hit there, but that's okay. You'd have to really look close to see that. So this device launched with iOS 6 and would get updates through iOS 7, 8, and 9, with iOS 9 kind of not being the best for this device. Slowed down performance and was not super usable. iOS 6, of course, feels super smooth. Everything you do is snappy, and there's no stuttery or lags here on this device at all. iOS 9, the same cannot be said. Overall, this is a beautiful device, and it still feels nice. It's a good size. I have an 11-inch iPad Pro right now. If the iPad Mini had ProMotion, the new one, I think I would probably pick that because there's just something about this size. I don't know if it's because I can easily hold it with one hand, or it kind of feels like a small notebook. It just fits really easily in your pocket or backpack or whatever. For some reason, Maps is not loading here. Not sure if that's a Wi-Fi problem or an Apple server problem. Anyway, this is a great little device. You've got iCloud, you've got FaceTime, iMessage. App Store is not working, but iOS 6 has a super easy jailbreak, and then you can download and install a bunch of applications. Very easy to do. All right, that's going to do it for this video. This is a gorgeous iPad Mini 1st gen in great condition, beautiful device, and I'm happy to be able to share it with you guys here on my YouTube channel. Anyways, thanks for the support. I appreciate you guys always, and I look forward to seeing you in another one of my videos.